just gonna wait for the stream to start. I don't even really know how I'll know the stream has started. Oh, I think I just got an email. Alright, cool, cool. Let me open this up real quick so I can just make sure that everything is actually working. If I do this. Okay, it's not working. That down? How about now? I don't know why this isn't working. Oh, there you go. Alright, cool. What if I go in full screen? Okay, full screen doesn't work. Let me actually fix this real quick. Okay, it's really annoying. I have the volume on. Um, game capture. Need full screen. Let me just do this. And then turns to full screen. And wow, that actually worked. Alright, cool. I don't think anyone's watching right now, but oh my god, it's actually so cool. Okay. I've never done anything like this before, so I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing. But that being said, let's keep building this castle and then close stream. Wow. Who is this? TTR 963. Close stream. No, I mean, my number one tweet. I love you too, bro. Love you too. You're the only person in here right now, so I might as well just show you the castle, I guess. So, I don't know. I'm building this castle for this creative world I have. What do you think about it? There's really low latency on this stream because it's not like I'm gonna get stream sniped. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. You from Rogul, or are you just like, is this just random, I guess? One, two, three. I think a 3 block width is good enough for this, and then one out. 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. Now obviously you gotta use road edit because I'm not doing this without road edit. I mean that would be way too much work. But 1, 2. I think that should be good. 3 blocks in between. Cool. Rogulian, of course. Fire, fire. NA. Yeah, I kind of expected like everyone from Rogul to be here, if anyone. So that's fire. Hey, let me know if you have any questions. I mean, I've been really inactive in Rogul, especially recently. I mean, um, I'm kind of like a pseudo. Oh, EU fire, fire. Are you a PvPer or are you just like, I guess, play for like other reasons, maybe factions, roleplay? I don't know. How tall is this? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I'm gonna just figure it out as I go. Cause, yeah, usually I build alone, but I'm super bored. None of my boys are on, so I figured I might as well just, I guess, build. And if I get bored of this, I might as well just hop on COD or something. Play some Black Ops 3 Zombies, I don't know. Kind of going through that phase again. But yeah, no, I kind of got this whole world going on right now. I mean, I'm just building and I mean, this is kind of the center of the world because think of it like a fictional world. So just a world building and everything. I got like ships and whatnot. That's what these waypoints are for. But it's nothing big. Just like a passion project I have going on. Let's use these. Inactive as you should. Nothing can save Rogul at this point. Tell me the lore blood. Oh, I got you, I got you. Okay, so essentially, okay, I'm gonna sound like such a nerd while doing this, but this was like took a lot of time to come up with all this stuff. But anyways, so this world is like think there's three like main species in this world. So there's humans, the main species from this world that like were born on Earth and lived here. Not dragons, sorry, giants and humans. So they're both humanoids, and giants are obviously huge, humans are small. Humans accompany like 30% of the land in this world, and giants accompany the other 70%. Giants are super dangerous. Too late didn't like listen. I guess they're ginormous and they're essentially cannibalistic. They'll just eat anything, but they're just especially territorial. So humans don't like to mess with giants. A long time ago, this event happened that caused basically two worlds to merge into one. Something happened in a different world which caused dragons to essentially migrate here. Each dragon has its own like unique ability. Think kind of like Demon Slayer. Like you know how Demon Slayer has blood arts, blood demon arts, where each demon has their own specific blood demon art. Think of that for dragons, right? Each dragon has its own ability, and because of that, these dragons are like extremely dangerous, but also like extremely cool. So, dragons don't speak our language, obviously, unless they were born here. So there's native dragons and there's non-native dragons, right? So the native dragons, um, they they were not born here. Or sorry, they were born here. So they're essentially they were born on Earth, so it was after the dragons migrated here. And then the non-native ones were not born on Earth. So they were born in their world. They're stronger than the dragons that were born here, but they don't speak English. So think of it like that. Dragon's power comes from their eyes. So each dragon eye has its own, I guess, like special power, which the humans found out about. So they use the dragon eyes to essentially stay safe, kill dragons. Think of it like, you know how when animals are found out that they have like really not pure, but really valuable fur or like scales or something, like everyone will start hunting the animal. So think of it like that. Like dragons became endangered very quick, and basically they were just high in demand. Everyone wanted dragons. So everyone wanted a dragon eye. This caused people like um think like pirates, like for power skills, foreign dragons, native dragons, giant humans. Yeah, think of it like that. And so basically within each species there are subspecies. So like giants, there's cyclopses, there's trolls, and then humans, there's vampires, there's regular humans. Um, Let me show you some of the other ships. So there's ships like this. This is called the Apex Predator. Um, I made it for my friend. He kind of just wanted me to build something like this, but think of it like a snake. Um, I don't know. I'm proud of this. Yeah, there are variants of each species, but so essentially there's okay, so that's kind of like where the each species is, like what type of species they are. Dragons are super endangered, and think there's like different religions. So there's like certain people, there are people that live and they actually like worship the dragons. So let me show you this world. Or not this world. I haven't built anything here yet, but I'm planning on making like a think like Asian style town here, and then they worship a dragon, one of the only dragons which lives in this cave, which I'm also gonna build. But there's gonna be essentially like some sort of force field around here, which basically it'll be the dragon's power. Eat anything or can it? Cannibalism is its choice. So giants can kind of eat anything like humans. Like they could just pick these trees up and like munch on it like broccoli, but they're super territorial. So if like a human comes into its territory or like a dragon comes into its territory, it's gonna try to kill it. I mean, dragons can kill giants, but like think of it like an MMA fighter can beat the shit out of like a non-MMA fighter, but if there's like 15 non-MMA guys, they can beat that MMA guy. I mean, that's like kind of the best analogy I can use, but um yeah, they're more primitive giants. They're like, think like idiots, essentially. So humans are more advanced, but they can't go through the 70% of giant territory. So they use dragon eyes to essentially, what is this? Yeah, I just came back to Minecraft. Oh my God, I didn't know that dogs could be like that. But Um, yeah, so giants are a lot more primitive than humans are, and dragon eyes give humans the ability to essentially safely venture across like the giant's territory. Giants don't really go across the water, so ships are a really good form of travel in this world. So that's why there's so many ships. Like all these are ships. Some of them are bad, some of them are good. But basically ships are used to travel in this world. Um, what else is there? I feel like oh, okay. So essentially, there's two main types of bindings in this world. So if a human do humans get the eyes by hunting them, or is the pact between the dragons that can speak English? So the humans get the eyes by hunting them. The eyes themselves are like mystical things. So if you were to kill a dragon and take its eye out, you could turn it into like some piece of jewelry if you wanted, wear it, and then you could use that dragon eye to basically emulate the dragon's power, if that makes sense. But it's like it's very rare nowadays, especially, and mainly the main military of this world has most of the dragon eyes. Like there's ships, let's see, let's go to this ship, right? So this ship is the Bleeding Star. If you go here, this ship owner actually has one, two, three, four, five dragon eyes, so they're collecting them. It's said it's a myth. No one knows if this is true, but if you collect seven dragon eyes, essentially you can travel to the Dragon's world, where there's most likely more dragons that you can harvest, or there's not. No one really knows what's there. If you're wondering how to like kill these dragons, basically what happened was dragons were terrorizing everything. Humans had no idea how to get rid of them. But they found there is essentially this corpse. Like you know how there's like the Survey Corps in Attack on Titan. Think like Survey Corps of this world is called the Dragon Slayers. Now they're completely taken as a joke because they couldn't kill dragons, but they eventually found this dragon that was already dying. And when they did a biopsy of the dragon and they found a parasite that was killing the dragon. So this parasite only kills dragons and it doesn't affect humans. And this is the reason why these dragons like migrated away from their world. So this parasite was killing them and it forced them out of this world into our world. So basically they used this parasite, they grew it in like lab grown conditions, experimented, and they created weapons with it. So that's why dragons are in such danger. Even with their powers, they have humans now have weapons that can kill dragons. Now these weapons they don't work on giants because well, giants aren't dragons, they don't have the genetic buildup of dragons. But um where was I? I was yapping about something. Yeah, but basically, oh yeah, binding. Okay, there's two types of binding in this world. Can dragons acquire the eyes of other dragons? Um, dragons, man, I haven't actually thought of that. That's a really good question. It'd be cool if there was like a Thanos level dragon that had like five, six dragon eyes themselves. So I'm gonna say yes to that question. But like holding the dragon eye would be kind of like actually yeah, I mean I'm gonna say yes. I think that's a really cool idea and that could add to the lore of this world as well. But yeah, no, that's damn, fire idea. Thank you for that suggestion. Or not really a suggestion, it was a question, but it led to a idea. But there's two types of bindings in this world that essentially create immortality. So if you bind yourself to this world, which can be done through a sorcerer, think like black magic, like really dark magic. Really dark sorcerers can help you bind yourself to this world. Basically, you make a promise to the earth, and think the planet is sort of alive, has its mind of its own, right? It's its own sentient being. So if you make a bindment to the planet and you vow to protect the planet, then you essentially become immortal, but you cannot leave the planet, right? So it's kind of interesting. It's okay, you're not really immortal. If you die, your soul will still be on the planet. Like you won't be sent to hell. There's no heaven in this world. There's only hell. So people always like okay, they aren't sure if there's not hell or if there's not heaven or hell, but that's like I'm telling you this as the creator of the world, there is no heaven. And a lot of religions believe that there's no heaven. So essentially they look for any way to become immortal and they can do that by binding themselves, which you can still kill them, but their soul can walk the planet still, and they won't be sent to like eternal hellfire or whatnot, right? Um, so the way binding works is that if you make the pact with the earth, through a sorcerer, then you have to do everything in your power to benefit the world. If you do something, even one act that doesn't benefit the world, you would essentially be like just sent to hell immediately. Like you just be ejected to hell. Now, there's another feature called being cracked, right? Now, cracked is the exact opposite of being binded, right? And being binded binds your soul to the earth, but if you become cracked, then your soul doesn't belong to any planet. So, being cracked means that every dimension or any planet that you're on is trying to kick you out. So, you have maybe 10, 15 minutes on each planet before you get kicked out and you have no idea where you're sent. Now, to be cracked, you have to first be binded and then you have to break your binding by like disobeying the world you're on and then just essentially like leaving the earth on your own. So if I were to be binded and then I'm just like I want to be cracked, right? Even though it's not really smart to be cracked because then you don't really have a home. You could just essentially basically break your bindment and then just leave. So you could somehow create a portal to a different world. If you leave, then you no longer belong on Earth, but you also your soul doesn't belong anywhere. So you're basically every 10 minutes you're warped somewhere new. So there's only one instance of someone who's binded already in this world, and basically he collects things from other planets and then he bargains them off here, like things like magical powers, like magical blocks, for example, or magical materials. Like this ship is made like this entire bottom of this ship, this white substance and this blue substance that this wood is made out of, is from a different planet, which basically gives this ship like ultra speed. So that came from someone cracked who bargained basically with one of the owners of the ships here, to basically enhance their ship, which is why the ship is so blue as well. It's called warped wood. I think that's what it's called in Minecraft as well, but I'm just gonna take that name. So making the pact with the earth is essentially heaven compared to die anywhere else in the universe. So hell is only, I'd say hell is only for like only for people on Earth, right? If you die outside, actually, I'm gonna just say hell's for everyone. It's a universal thing for everything in the universe, right? So finding immortality one way or another is like very sought out, and dragons live a long time. Dragons are pretty much immortal. Like think Viltrumite, the stuff. Like the older they get, the slower they age. So they don't really have to worry about it. But humans are really concerned about being like immortal or whatnot. But it's really hard being binded. Think of it like you're under these strict rules, and not even many people know about being cracked. So it's like you're kind of like binding yourself to doing the right thing. Like, if lying hurts the planet somehow, like let's say you lie about what tree is beneficial in a certain area, then you'd be breaking your pact. So it's really difficult. The captain of this ship is actually binded and protecting this ring, which is called the Tenebris. Um, which think of it like a death ring. I'll explain that later. But um, yeah, I'm trying to think what else to tell you. That's kind of like the overview of this world. This is the royal kingdom of this world. This is the royal kingdom of Sora, which is also which is the royal family. The royal family's last name is Sora, and well, the kingdom's name is Sora. Um, can other beings, part of humans, make a pact with the earth? Um, anything with a soul can make a pact with the earth. But it's the thing is, to make a pact, you need someone who's able to conjure the magic to contact the earth itself. So, if a cow wanted to be binded, first it would have to have the thought, right? Like the question is, does a cow even have a fully like conscience? Because think like conscience is like, does the cow know it's a cow? Does the cow, or is it just here to eat like grass or something, right? So first the being's got to think like, oh, I don't want to die. I want to be immortal. But then they have to find someone or something that can conjure the magic to make that happen. So anything can do it, like, but you have to have the proper intention, and then you also have to have the proper sorcerer to essentially like make it happen. But yeah, that's kind of like the process of being binded or not binded. Uh yeah. Um and giants can also do it, by the way. So consciousness is intermediary. Yeah, essentially. It's like pretty much required. I mean, cause think in real life, like, is a cow gonna really like think about the afterlife or anything like that? Like, I mean, I don't think so. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, you never know, right? It could, but um, kind of the way I look at it is that I don't see that happening, so that's why it's like I guess that's just the way that the logic is in my head, if that makes sense. I don't really know. Do cows go to hell? Um, that's a great question. Um, I'm gonna say yes. Everything that has a soul goes to hell. So, and by soul, I mean like anything that's essentially living, right? How hell itself works, I haven't necessarily thought of that yet, but, sorry, let me just set this up real quick, just so I don't have to do this later. Perfect. Alright, yeah. Anything that has a soul would just go to hell. Yeah. And that's like some people still believe in heaven and things like that in this world, but it's just not something that exists. So unfortunately for them, they're low key like super cooked. But um, I mean, what can you do? But yeah, that's kind of how it works. But yeah, any other questions about this thus far? I can go for this actually. Bop 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 bop. Um, how did I connect this? Oh, I think I just deleted these chunks. Okay, cool. And I can just build this all the way up. And then just lock it in right here. Yeah, without road edit, this would have been so hellish. I like to stay more, but I gotta go. Tell Alex to nerf the shit out of Ixa if you can. Bro, I got you, I got you. I will pass the message on. Appreciate you for joining and listening. I'll see you later. If you end up joining back or if I get bored. Bro nerfs everything but the wall. No, but think about it, cause he's nerfed the wall before, and then it got really bad criticism as well, and it kind of like killed the weapon. Like when he removed the stun off it, it was still a good move though, cause it it was really fast and then it did a lot of damage, low cooldown, but it definitely wasn't as good as when it had the wall. So I think that might be one of the reasons why he doesn't want to nerf it, or maybe the balancing team doesn't really see it as an issue. I'm not too sure. I can definitely see what is up about that because, but I don't know. I don't really fight too many Ixas either when I'm on, so I don't know too much about how powerful the weapon is, but um, I'm assuming that you are like well versed in that regard, I guess. I'll let you go now though. I know I've been yapping, but yeah, if you do want to tell me what you main, let me know. I'm low-key curious on what you could be a main of. The thing is that he said he would make a high damage skill shot after the 2020 nerf, but that thing did 1.5 damage. Yeah, yeah, it did do a lot of damage. I think that's the amount that Owl melee F does as well, which is a lot of damage. Or no, Owl might do 2 damage. I'm not entirely sure, but um, you say he would make high damage skill shot. Yeah, yeah. Um, 1.5 might not be enough for a move that is that slow. Yeah, that is true. That is true. It's just gonna get healed anyway. Especially with Quinks and like, um, what else? Insane Bite. Definitely, I think so. But also, I don't know. I don't really know too much about Ixa, so I don't want to make the wrong comment to make me seem like an absolute idiot. Um, oh man, that's like really far spaced out. Um, I it's kind of hard to say. It's really difficult to say what it could be done about that. To make it balanced. Balancing is so, I guess, subjective. Because, like, if you make one side of the community happy, then you could piss off the other side. Like for example, I'll range F. Owl Range F was so strong, especially with the combo with the Range F melee R. I mean, it was just a stupid combo, right? It shouldn't have been possible. So it got nerfed. But then it got nerfed, so we had to buff melee F because essentially to balance it out. But then melee F is too powerful. It's hard to find the perfect balance, but I'll talk about Ixa to them and just see what they're thinking, because I know Ixa's been a problem for a long time, so this isn't something that's just started. I think at least. I'm once again I'm not too sure. But I can definitely check on that for you. So, oh, I have to still add these, not that, that, and that, and remove that. That is right. And oh, I forgot to add this. Did I do this side? I did. Yeah, but I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? I think they've been doing an overall really good job with the balancing though. The thing is that a lot of these webs have to be balanced around the cam aim recode, but the moves are not made to be easy to land. And he is on a balancing spree. The thing is, a lot of the webs have to be balanced around the cam aim. Yeah, so the camera aim is really different than what it was before. It makes the game more smooth, but it also like makes things quote unquote easier to hit because the shots actually go where you're aiming it. And we're so used to aiming, like, we're so used to having to predict. Because when we have to predict our shots and everything, back in the day, there was too much latency between a move and, um, like, what happens between the move, right? So when we would hit the move, it would just like come out really late, and that's why we have to predict. So it makes things easier to hit because they're actually going where you're aiming it, but it does have to be rebalanced based off of that. I get what you're saying. And yeah, I think they've been doing a crazy job altogether. Like he's been going insane with that, like with the balancing of everything. But I mean, there's always gonna be things to balance, especially as new techs are found in the community. Like it's hard to keep a game so um like perfectly balanced, especially a game like Roll where there's a really passionate top tier community as well as a really passionate casual community. So the people are always gonna find new techs and everything. It's just a matter of being able to keep up with those techs, you know. Um, but that's the difficult part. That latency was healthy, almost like a wind up. Being able to track every single move till it's about to land is not the play for this type of game. It's a combat game at the end of the day. I see what you mean. I mean, the latency definitely made it more. I like to say skillful, just because there was so much more to think about. I guess as a PvPer myself, there was a lot more to I guess think about. It was easier to dodge moves, and if you were able to hit all your shots, there is like a satisfaction to it because you basically just read your opponent like a book, right? But that's also another issue because it's also not how the game should be, if that makes sense. Like that's not what should be happening. It's just what we had for so long, which is why we're also used to it. Which is makes it does is definitely healthy. Oh my God, I started like 20 times there. It's definitely healthy in the sense where for the current player base that has gotten used to it, but for new players, it's like it's just weird because that's not how it was intended to be aimed, right? Like that's not what his intention was with coding everything and aiming with all that stuff. Like it should have from the beginning been going it where you actually aimed it, but that's also like difficult because the community is so used to this new style of aim that and we've gotten so good with it that when you change it to make it actually go where you want it to, it just kind of messes things up in the way that um it makes everything feel so easy because we were already used to hitting these insane shots which seem a lot more insane when you realize that there's so much prediction that goes into it. You know what I mean? But I understand what you're saying too, because I mean, it's definitely something that was yeah, I mean it's definitely, if you think about it, like every single web eventually got bounced around that wind up. Now he has to rewrite all that work. Yeah, that is a really, really difficult part of it because he does have to redo all that, changing most of the web's identity in the process. Okay, okay. I agree with this. I agree and I disagree with that statement. So I agree with the fact that, man, he has a lot of work if he wants to recode everything, but it's also to make the game a lot less laggy too, because Rogol was coded like a really long time ago by like a 16-year-old Alex. So a lot of this like base code and like source code, I guess, is not up to par. So when he's changing the game and optimizing it to be quote unquote like to make it more like objectively better, it is changing the identity of some of these weapons because we're so used to using the old versions, you know? It's kind of like the Taki phenomenon where it's technically better, right? And it makes more sense the way it is now, but that doesn't mean that the player base likes this new version more, right? It just because we're so used to the old version that it just it kind of takes away from, like you said, the identity. It doesn't feel the same. We don't have that same nostalgic feeling with the new Taki as compared to the old one. But still, objectively, this new Taki is just better in like every way, right? Um, let's be honest. The average PvPer gets 60 to 90 MS. The minority are the ones that get over 100 MS in their region. Yeah, I mean, certainly the average PvPer does get good ping in their own region, but that doesn't mean that the game shouldn't be optimized for those people that don't have good ping, you know? Because there's like people that don't even have a region. Like I think SA has a region now, but is there enough players that there will be active servers for their region? So like if they have to play, right? And they join a public server and the only public servers are like NA ones, right? So if there's only NA public servers, then they're kind of in trouble because they're at a huge disadvantage. But if you optimize the game so that those players can also still perform well, then I think that's a really big win, in my opinion. But it's like it does change how the weapons work a little bit. I have to admit. There is difference in the weapons themselves. But that's also to be expected, right? I mean, um, you can't expect the weapon not to change with optimization because the reason why the weapons were struggling in the first place was because of bad optimization. So that's kind of the way I see it. Um, at least like personally, right? Um, but the identity of the weapon thing is definitely something I struggled with as well, just because I loved those old weapons, you know. But that doesn't mean that things shouldn't change. At least from my own experience and perspective, change is not always good, but in the sense of making it better for everyone, I think it's definitely something worth it to do. 'Cause I really do feel bad for the I guess people who couldn't play like quote unquote properly because well they didn't really have the proper ping or they just they didn't have their own region. It's kind of sad to think about in my opinion because I mean we obviously we have our own regions and whatnot. So yeah. And about the identity, think just like at Owl, playing passive was already the playstyle that grants more wins, but it didn't cut rush to be viable. Now passive Owl is forced by Kit. You really think passive Owl is like forced upon? I feel like non-passive Owl is better than passive Owl right now because of the power of melee F. Like I feel like whenever I play against someone who's playing passively, I just squash them. I feel like I would squash them even now that I'm like a rust bucket, you know? Um, I think that's very like you gotta kind of think that it's not subjective, right? It's playstyle will always be playstyle. I mean, passive playstyle and owl playing against it is really annoying, but I feel like I'm a rushing owl now. I used to be a really passive one, but I rush on owl, and I feel like I can squash like anyone passive, and the people that play passive against me end up hating playing against my melee rush. Um, but I think it depends. It really just does depend on the player, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, do you play owl like by any chance? Sorry, I had to get up. Drink of water. I haven't yapped this much in a long time. Certainly been a minute. I mean, I'm not I guess a traditional streamer anyways, but I mean, I find it fun. Um, how many blocks in between these? One, two, three. One, two, three. Two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. Yeah, as you can see, this building this castle is like a lot of repetition. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing over and over, but because of the way it looks from afar, I think that's why I'm in love with the way it's turning out. I mean, yeah. To maximize the damage on the whip, you have to stay on long range, shredding with F plus range moves, the best source of damage, so naturally the player wins most. Um, I wouldn't look at it like that, right? Because the think of it this way, the melee mode, for example, first of all, the melee R is people really underestimate how strong that melee R is. Oh my god. The range is really good. It's got really good aiming, so you can consistently hit it. And then the melee F is so insane with damage. You just gotta use it in a more think like a more unique way. Like instead of like the combo with melee, it's ERF, right? I mean, such a simple combo, but if you change that combo is too so easy to land now with the cam. Yeah, but if you change that simple combo to make it okay, so what I do with it is ER range click into a melee F because when I do range click before they melee F, they'll unhold block and then my melee F will just hit them raw for 2 damage and that does so much damage. Oh my god. And if they figure it out and they just keep holding block, all you gotta do is wait for them to like essentially let go of block and then hit them with the F after they let go of block because while they're blocking, it's not like they can attack you unless they're using like Hinami or something. They won't be able to attack you while holding block. So you can kind of just do a lot of block bait, and then because of that, you get a ton of damage off on that person. But it's definitely like based on your playstyle. I find it really easy to play against passive owls. I mean, especially now with how fast owl is and um how strong the uh melee F is. I mean, it's not really a problem for me, you know? One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But I think it's all. I understand where you're coming from as well, though. Just because. Um, but I think that passive owl was stronger before than it is now. Because eliminating that range factor, essentially, from the. Eliminating that range factor what it does is it forces people to use melee F, which also got buffed. So it's incentive to use a better move. In my opinion at least. That's the way I look at it. Um I know a lot of people don't look at it that way. I mean, especially since everyone's once again, it's all about nostalgia and what you're used to. Like everyone is so used to using range F in every scenario and not using melee F at all. But melee F is still a really, really good move, you know? And people really underestimate that. But um, it people really really underestimate that. Even especially now that it's a lot stronger, melee F is so good. But I understand because before when it wasn't as strong, it there was no reason to use it over range F. But I mean, game changes, it evolves, and that move is low key a lot better than melee F now or range F. So I think that saying passive is the only way to win is just like, in my opinion, it's just wrong because I think that rush, especially right now in this meta, is much better. Uh, Melee F is 1.5 at the end of the day. It only makes an impact when unblocked hit or RF combo. F range has blocked or unblocked amount. That is true. There's a zoning aspect to range F as well, but if you look at it kind of, so okay, I'll riddle you this. Okay, it's 1.5, but if you can get that 1.5 raw damage, that's a lot of damage. And there's a lot of ways to, I guess, bait out the block of people as well. But you really have to look at it in a way of like, um, it's how do I phrase this right? Um, it creates another alleyway for you to go down, right? Having the a more powerful melee F, but also there's a lot more damage linger or hitbox linger. So essentially, if melee F is coming, right, and it's like coming here, like you see in this Minecraft, like let's say it's coming here, and then I'm right here, and then let's say the animation disappears for the melee F. I'm still here, but I'm dashing here. Even if there's no animation, if I dash into it fast enough, the linger hitbox will still hit me. And because of that, it causes people that think they've dodged it to still get hit by it. And if you don't think you're gonna get hit by it, you're probably not blocking. So that 1.5 damage of just raw damage is still like a ton of damage, you know? I'd be willing to try it against you if you want to like I guess see for yourself like firsthand. Because it's kind of hard to I guess envision these things, especially in Rogul. I feel like it's very difficult to. It's just easier to show people rather than tell them. Just 'cause, yeah, I mean, I think that's with every game though. I mean, it's always easier to talk to people. It's always easier to show people what you mean than talk to them about it. That's just because I mean the way the human mind works, you know. But bop 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 bop. Perfect. Then get the glass. I do not have enough room in my inventory for this. Unless I put the glass right here. That's not gonna work. Okay. Oh no, I can put it there and then I can just switch amongst this. Oh my god, that's genius. Okay, cool. Okay, W moves by me. I completely get what you mean with the linger, but a straight R range also does 1.5. Like if you were a perfect Rogal machine, you got more value at the range hit than melee hit. So okay, the thing about the R, okay, so if we're talking about the perfect Rogal player, right? Um, it's hard to bring the perfect Rogal player into this only because of the fact that if you're the perfect Rogal player, you're not getting hit by a you're not gonna get hit by a range R unblocked, right? In my opinion, range R is the easiest range move to perfect block in the game. Just because of the speed that it goes at, and we're so accustomed to it, I never struggle with blocking a melee or a range R. Especially if the person's playing passive and we're like mid-range against each other, I can't see myself ever getting hit by that move without blocking it. I can like you know what I mean. But that melee F is so there's no wind up, there's no animation. It just comes out right away and then does the same amount of damage much quicker and much more reliably in the sense that it's there's no wind up, you know? And not having a wind up on a move like that makes it so unbelievably dangerous. And it's just man, I really like the move because I mean I kind of figured out how to use it finally because I never used it back in the day. But man, is it a powerhouse of a move. You know, I mean it's so strong. And yeah. Oh shoot, no. Okay, I can't. Oh my god, this is gonna mess everything up. Okay, I gotta do this and then I gotta do Oh, I can't even do that. Okay, let me do this one. Sorry, let me read what you said in a second. Let me just. Oh my God. All right, cool. Um, yeah, I agree with that. It's really unpredictable. I use it to cycle between melee and range. Yeah, I mean, so when I like to describe Owl to people who don't play Owl, I always describe Owl as a piano. 'Cause like, okay, hear me out. This is gonna be a really weird analogy, but I always describe Owl as a piano because piano is such a versatile instrument, right? Like, there's so many different ways you could play the piano. And I guess you could say that about anything. Maybe, actually, imagine it as a guitar. Bro might be the pianist. Like, imagine as a guitar. There's so many different types of guitars, and there's so many different ways to play the guitar. You could play like classical music. You could play rock music, you know? Um so and it no way is objectively better than the other, but certain people might be better at playing it. Like let's say you like slow and classical music more. So maybe you like a passive style like ZV Kishi, right? Or I can use a EU player more like Ace and Nar, right? You may like that passive style, but what if you like rock more? Then you might like the like Rush like style of Smoke or Xmos more, I guess. It all comes down to personal preference, and I love Owl for that reason because there isn't a clean cut way to play the weapon. Something might work for other people, but like it might not work for you. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell with that weapon just because of how unbelievably versatile it is. And I always stand by that. Like, especially since I also play it in a non-conventional way now, it just feels right. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on, I don't know. I get what you're saying. I mean, it's hard to fight against passive owl, but I once you figure it out and you figure out the style you want to use with it, I feel like it's easy. Especially with my rush style, bro. They just panic so bad. It's actually like low key funny to watch. Okay, I did not mean to do that. It's like it's amusing, you know. Even if I lose the fight, because I'm a rust bucket and my aim is trash now, I can still watch them panic as they run away. And like, it's kind of like a cat and mouse situation. If I catch them, they're cooked. If I don't catch them, then they win. I love fights like that. Even in like real life, cat and mouse is always fun. Unless you're the mouse. It's always terrifying being the person running away. Being the aggressor is always so much more fun, in my opinion. You might be right. I honestly had passive being the most optimal way to play Owl pre-code. That after I heard he nerfed the range F, I just assumed Rush is even less viable. Um, I mean, nerfing range F kind of makes Rush more viable because passive is a little bit worse. And also, if it's an Owl v Owl match, passive is horrible against a Rush. Like, let's say it's me versus I know Irony is blacklisted now, but let's say I'm playing against Irony. Um, He's a passive owl. He's really super duper passive. But if I play against him and I'm rushing, which I have fought him before while rushing, and he hates my playstyle so much. But his range F becomes a lot more useless if I'm in close range because it does less damage, right? So when I'm rushing him, he kind of has to steer away from his playstyle and adhere to mine. I'm setting the pace of the fight, right? I don't know if you've ever watched UFC or boxing, but whoever sets the pace in a fight always has the upper hand because they decide how fast it's going, when they're going in, when to panic the other person. They have full control. So me setting the pace in that fight, even though he has more skill than me, he has better aim, he's still losing rounds because he's not the one setting the pace. He's fighting on my terms, and because he's fighting on my terms, whenever I rush in, his range F is useless because of the nerf, which is it's what makes that fight so beautiful and so like I guess poetic essentially. How do I do this? Uh, Pop up. Okay, I did it up to here. Pop. Mood sandstone. And then pop, 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 pop. Nope, not like that. Pop. People always balancing is such a difficult topic for these reasons. Like people always underestimate how much thought has to go into things like this. Because it's kind of hard to know unless you actually do it yourself. Because it's impossible to make everyone happy. It just sadly it is. I mean, I wish there was a way, but um, you can't adhere to everyone, and that's kind of like I understand Alex's struggle with balancing because of that. There's so many different people that want different things, and it just makes it so confusing. But I mean, what can you do? You know, we play the game. Let's do this. Okay, I'm really liking the way this is looking so far. Man, each of these walls takes so long to make. Jesus. Um, one, two. Oh man, how the hell am I supposed to do this? Okay, how did I do this corner earlier? One going up to the corner. Oh, that's gonna be so confusing. All right, let's figure this out. So I need 11 blocks. So if I do 3 in between, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, they're gonna be right next to each other. Interesting. Sorry, had to sneeze. I wonder how long has this stream even been going for? Oh, it's been almost an hour and this is all I've got done. Wow, I'm really building like slow as hell today. That's alright though. I mean, shouldn't rush. That's understandable. Passive pre-code felt like they were the ones setting the pace, like it's game sense methodical competence. Now you can set the pace by rushing. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if you ever want to test it out and you want me to show you what I mean by that, because once again, I know it's really hard to understand. Like, it's hard. I'm surprised that you're able to understand this without seeing it, because I definitely would not be able to. Because it's hard to envision something, especially when you already have an idea about it, and you obviously you're experienced as well. So, um, if you ever want to see it, you can. It's probably actually better to tell me here, man. I mean, I don't really check my DMs anymore, like at all. Like even from even from IRL friends. I'm the ultimate Ixa nerd, bro. Of course, I get it. Okay, so you're an Ixa main. Wait, so you're an Ixa main that wants Ixa to get nerfed, or are you like one of the old Ixa mains, like the OG guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Cause I don't know, like when did you start playing Ixa? I remember I used to play Ixa back in the day. I sucked at it, so I switched it out fast as I could. It's definitely it's a very techy weapon. So um, it definitely wasn't my style. Bop. Why do I have oh, I have anvils because I'm using them for railings. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Ixa became so stupidly easy that the entire EU leaderboard quit out of pure cringe. Oh my god, is this recently or is this after the rework of it? Like where the moves changed? Because has he balanced Ixa recently or something, or is this just like something that I guess has been going on? 2024. Oh, okay, so it's been a hot second since then, I guess. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, man, this is also one of the reasons I do like the PvP community. Like, we refuse to, I guess, adhere to or we refuse to play weapons we feel aren't skillful, which I think is really, it's fire. I mean, because, we're not abusing anything. But wow, so this has been going on for a while. I I always knew that Ixa was like viewed as a really strong weapon. I don't know if you know Chino, but my friend Chino told me that uh Ixa is one of the weapons that can beat any weapon in the game. And I mean I believe him. And so has Ixa seriously not gotten any balance changes yet? Because I mean he's been bouncing a lot of stuff, so I'm assuming he's probably gotten to Ixa too, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not too sure. I'd be surprised if he has not gotten to Ixa actually. But maybe he got to Ixa and then he didn't nerf what needed to be nerfed. Ixa was extremely versatile since always, even on 2021 to 2023. Yeah, no, I mean, Ixa, especially with the wall, bro, man, that wall was like the bane of my existence. Like, actually, like the bane of my existence. I hated playing against that wall. But I mean, you get used to it as well. So, it's not so bad. But like even against like weapons like Hinami and stuff, Chino was telling me that Ixa could probably beat that. If the player is like good enough and knows what they're doing, then it's possible. And I mean, I guess that says a lot because Hinami is a really strong weapon, especially with people that know how to use it. So I mean, yeah, it's not that is not the right block. Bop 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 bop. 2021 to 2023, wall wasn't stun by the way, it was just an obstacle that cancels moves, but now we're back to stunning mid-range with the stupid wall. Oh, so you actually don't like the wall stun, essentially. That's actually like because I remember when he removed the wall stun, people actually weren't too mad about the wall stun being removed. They were just mad about the Ixa slides being removed. Um, but the Ixa slides being removed had people livid, man. Which I understand why, because that it made Ixa so much fun to play. But no, I think I get what you're saying, man. I really do. Um, so okay, that kind of pieces it together in my head as well, because you basically think that it's it's just too easy for you guys to play it now, and you prefer more of a challenge. People back then was just bad, and 2019 Ixa players were low-key carried by the Queen K. Yeah, yeah, that's true too. I mean, the weapon was so stupid with with the way that I guess it was going. Like it was just like it had everything. It didn't have a single weakness back then, man. And that was like too much, man, too much. I actually don't think I need this block here. I'm gonna extend from this way. Um, people that I can. Man, this castle's low-key frying my brain. Let's actually work on this first. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Bop, 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 bop. I remember playing like when I would join like a calamity training and stuff every now and then. When I would see a Ixa bro back in the day, I would actually be so pissed because then it'd be a lot harder to wipe in Glads. But the fun about 2021 2022 Ixa is that it had everything but nothing was particularly strong. Only the circle F hitbox. I remember that hitbox, man. That hitbox was so annoying to play against, but I think playing weapons that aren't as strong is so much more rewarding because to beat players, you have to be better, right? Like if I'm an Ixa player back in 2021 and I beat someone who's playing like what was kind of like the strongest weapon? Let's say Ken-K2. And I beat someone using Ken-K2, bro. Either that Ken-K2 stinks or I'm like crazy good. So that's the fun part about playing, I guess, weapons that aren't like the strongest ever. It makes being good at them feel so much more rewarding. Like like if Al were to become like super like crazy powerful, it wouldn't be as fun to play it anymore. Any weapon, as a matter of fact. I mean, that's just a fact for yeah, can't get tunings in 2021, thankfully. Yeah, that is true. I just can't think back to then and think about what was like the really powerful. Maybe Kenke 1? Was that Kenke 1 might have been more recent though. I'm not. I'm struggling to recall back to. Bro, isn't it crazy that it's 2025 now? I mean, I still can't get that out of my head. Because Rogel was, man, the golden era was like for real 2021, 2020. I think 2020 was the golden era for me, to be honest. Everyone kind of has their own golden era time though. But 2020 was when I'm old, man. I got a job and shit, and we're to talk about this shit. I mean, bro, Rogel is such a like staple. And I feel like every Rogel player's life, it's such a big staple in it, cause man, we spent so much time getting good at this game, and I don't know, it's just it's just nice, cause think about it, like for the top tiers, I mean, I don't know, it was always so rewarding to be like the best player of a certain time period, right? Or at least one of the best of a certain time period. Man, like it's still such a flex. I don't know. Oh man, I really like the way that all looks. Okay. Like I don't know. How does this look without shaders actually? Let me deload the shaders real quick. Okay, yeah, I'm reloading the shaders. Because that is not it. It's making me mad. Um shoot. Okay, I can actually connect this all the way through. Oops. I see some more people are in here actually. They're just intrigued by our conversation about Ixa. And I guess balancing in general, we've kind of been having a conversation about. Um, actually, no, it's not necessary. It's we doing too much. Oh, those pillars are nice. Okay, how the hell do I turn this? Okay, obviously from here, and then come this way, right? I mean, this is the logical way to go about this. And then just bop. One, two, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then let's go 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay. And then we can figure out how to fill this space up with something cool looking. Is that what is that purple thing around your name? I'm actually not too sure what that is, but it looks pretty cool. So, I mean, the lore is this. First came the click slide stun wall, then came the circle stun, then came straight line stun with instant wall every 3 seconds, actually unblockable. Now we're back to the stun wall. Yeah, we kind of have, I guess, taken a step back there, but I mean, if it improves everything in general, I think it's worth it. But I mean, man, so you think the stun wall should be removed? What do you think that the wall should be changed to then? If the stun wall is removed, like what would you turn it into? Is my question. Would you change it back to the just the straight damaged one? Maybe I'm not too sure. Smooth sandstone. Mm, and you can aim the wall while it spawns. The wall should be actual high damage skill shot right now because it's unpunishable. Are you talking about the curve? Like the curve part of it that like it'll curve, I guess, like mid shot, I guess? Yeah, that part is a little crazy, I'll admit. Must admit. But I mean, it looks really cool too. Yeah, yeah. I know about the aiming part about that, but man, does it look cool. You can't even lie, it looks sick. But no, I get what you're saying as well. Just 'cause it's make a full horse around you, a full house around you. Yeah, yeah, no. That's it is definitely strong to say the least. Uh man, yeah, but I mean, so what would you change it to though? Like, so make it unaimable. Oh, okay, I see. You want to make it an unaimable skill shot, or not unaimable, but like straight aim skill shot. That makes sense too. I mean, that's kind of where it was before too. I think where what we were talking about. Um, smooth sandstone slab. Let's do that. Oh, that's nice. I mess with that a lot. Yeah, and stun gone as well. So if you remove the stun, so do you think? Okay, here's another question. You know how Ixa is kind of a not like it's sort of a combo weapon right now, just because you can do so many different combos. Do you want it to be a combo weapon story? Would you change that into it not having like any stuns and then not having combos? I'm very curious about that actually, because I feel like everyone kind of has a different answer to this. Okay, what can I add here? Maybe glowstone actually. I mean, nah, that's weird. That is super weird. Forget I said that. Um, 1, 2, 3, and I can. Oh, I could low key do something like this too, and then go all the way up. Actually, I should do one block off. Ixo was always a combo weapon, but the stun came from melee, which means close range, which means punish for missing. Right now, you just cast the wall, and if you miss, you wait for CD and try again. That's true. It does low key promote a more passive playstyle instead of having to rush in and kind of work for your stun. I can see that. I can definitely see that. So, okay, I don't really know the moves on Ixa though, so I'm trying to think what could the combo be if you remove that type of thing. Okay, that looks really ugly. I'm removing this. I should do this shot. Set air. Okay, I don't really think I actually need anything here. Just need to turn the wall here. Okay, let me actually. Where is cut sandstone? Oh, here it is. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, two. Two should be fine. Two will be good. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, that sucks. It's gonna be a 22. It can't be a perfect. Yeah. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What if I add a block here and remove one here? Is that perfect 11? How many blocks on each side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's gonna be 5, isn't it? Yeah, 5. There was two combos with the circle. First was R gimmick, set it, then circle, then side melee click, and E melee. The range version was circle Range click E gimmick to get some distance from rushers. Yeah, I really like the melee E. I'm gonna be honest because the melee E people really underestimated its cooldown. It's literally like half a second cooldown, bro. It's it's kind of insane how the mobility of that weapon or how the mobility of that move works. Okay, I kind of want to do this one actually. How much space do I need for this? One, two, is it 3 by 3? It's 3 by 3. 3 by 3 with 3, so 9. Um, one second CD, yeah, it has slightly distance and quicks. Yeah, bro, it's man, it's low key insane though. I'm not gonna lie. Um, it just does so well at. It's just so good. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's so good. Um, this is one block in. Oh, this is so weird. I gotta go one block more in. Three. No, that's not doing. I'm not doing that. Could just go a solid wall here, and then do one. Oh yeah, you know what, I'll do that. I'll come up with a new design for this. Cut sandstone. Cool. Before cam aim was just lucky lands out of combos, but now with cam aim is the main source of damage. Thankfully, he recently nerfed it to 1.5 by ammo that was not the play to begin with. Yeah, you would have rather just nerf the stun on the E, right? And then just, I guess, remove the aim ability of it, and then make it like actual, I guess, skill shot, kind of like how he said he was gonna do, type of thing. Oh man, I messed this up. Shoot. Wait, that actually low-key saves me a lot too. Okay, let's see. This from from here to there. So from there to there slash set air. He swapped every single keystroke to make it convenient and unpunished. Yeah, no, I can see that. It's not punishable right now. That okay, that makes a lot more sense to me as to what I guess needs to change there. Let me I feel like there's actually a lot of good progress further for this part. For example, before the wall, the dash were together, so if you miss wall, you get punished on your mobility. That is true too, because it was both on E. So you couldn't like if you use the wall and miss, you can't really like just teleport away. It makes it so much more yeah, it makes it just punishable because so what, the wall's on F now, right? If I remember right, and then the old F is on the click. I think it's something like that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, now the stun wall that curves is along the iframe move that is situational. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, I see exactly what you mean. Okay, I understand what you're trying to say now. Like, the move cycle is different now because he moved the like which move is on which move slot. So essentially what happens because of that is that if you use the wall, which is with the iframe move on F, which is also not really a move that's really that good because it can be punished at the end, then you still have your mobility move in your E because it didn't use your E. That's essentially, I guess that's what you're saying, right? That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I never understood why he moved the moves around, to be honest. But maybe there's a reason. I mean, I'm not entirely sure there. Um, but I was so used. That's one of the reasons I don't like playing Ixa anymore either, is because I knew the moves by the way I knew the moves. So it was kind of confusing to me trying to get back into Ixa. Um, yeah, it just promotes E melee plus the long tendril that by the way is on the click now, so it's impossible to punish. I see what you mean. Yeah, because if you have those moves switched around, you can cycle your moves a lot better in a way that it's a lot harder to be punished. That makes perfect sense to me. Yeah. I mean, that makes perfect sense what you're saying. I mean, I don't think that should be in the game. But it yeah, that stinks, man. I can see why you guys don't like playing Ixa right now. Cause I mean, it's it's just seems like it's a lot stronger to the point where it's not gonna be rewarding to beat people with that weapon. Yeah, that definitely needs to be changed then, for sure. Damn, okay, so that's like a lot more, I guess that's a lot more of a dire situation than I thought. And I never understood why Ixa does feel more oppressive now when I play against it. But also I haven't played against Ixa in a while. Usually I just like don't really try when I play against them because I feel like I'm gonna lose anyway. Um, so would you say Ixa is a top 5 weapon in the game right now, power wise? This is always an interesting question to ask, just because everyone has such a different, like, a different thought perspective on what the most powerful weapon in the game is. 1 sec. Alright, bro, it was really nice to talk to you and nice to meet you. I think I gotta end the stream now. It's been a while, been on for a long time, so I'm probably gonna stream again day after tomorrow. I mean, it was kind of just nice just chilling and talking, so if you want to talk again, just join up the stream. Alright, I'll see you later. Bye bye. Nice to talk to you too.